know, we've all felt that quiet voice inside that tells us what we should or shouldn't do.
But the real question is, do we actually listen?
Today, Chardelle Moore, founder of Motivational Moore, is here to show us how to tap into our inner wisdom and trust that voice to make decisions that bring more clarity, confidence, and alignment in life. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back.
I'm excited to be back on the couch.
We're excited to have you.
Always excited to have
you.
And we're talking about the inner voice and the intuition.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, how do we know what is our intuition versus what are just random thoughts?
That's a really good question. First and foremost, I've never met anyone whose intuition is wrong. I truly believe, in my opinion, that the intuition is a sacred space within yourself that you absolutely have clarity. There's no friction, there's no overthinking, there's no fear, there's no negative thoughts. It's just pure consciousness. So a lot of times our mind can think certain things, but the intuition is never wrong. The intuition is anchored in our soul.
Ooh.
How do we recognize that voice within ourselves? You know, though there may be clarity, I think oftentimes because of perhaps past traumas or past experiences, a lot of times there is a knee-jerk reaction or a fear that may also be very clear.
Yes.
But
Good question,
perhaps
Queen.
not necessarily intuition.
Absolutely. I feel like with the intuition, there's no friction. As I mentioned, it's so clear. And when you feel that vibe, when you feel it, you'll absolutely know. So you have to go and connect with yourself and really ask yourself, is this the voice? Is this the intuition? Or is it something else? But with your intuition, you will always know. It's just, you know what I mean? I can't explain it. I feel like sometimes in life, there's certain things that are beyond the physical world. You just feel it inside. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yeah.
And this is something I've struggled with and I've learned over time is it's literally trusting your gut, trusting
Always.
your intuition.
Yes.
What would you say, what kind of practices can people do to really tap into that and trust themselves so they can trust their intuition?
Absolutely. Ask yourself daily questions. You have to really check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Who do you want to become? What are those thoughts that you feel internally? Also, gratitude, journaling, prayer, self-care. These are great practices for you to really truly connect with your intuition and your inner wisdom.
And one thing I want to ask you about, and one thing I want to thank the ladies on this couch for especially, is how important is it to surround yourself with people who have good instincts, good gut? And because how many times am I asking you ladies, I gut check, I need to know, because sometimes all the time. Sometimes I don't trust my own gut because sometimes my voice isn't as loud, but I ask these ladies, what do you all think about it? It's so important to have that circle of people you trust their instincts, their intuitions.
It's so important to surround yourself with positive people because energy is contagious. So it's like when you're around certain people, your body will feel it. If something is off, you know, right? So especially with what you guys do, whether it's personally, professionally, it is critical to surround yourself with people who are going to uplift you, empower you, and inspire you, and also that you can check in with them as well. Very important.
Can you give our audience an example of what that might look like? For example, in your life, a time when your inner guidance led you to a breakthrough.
Oh my goodness.
Perhaps
okay, let me get
cozy.
She
said, how much time let me get
settle down.
Okay? Even if perhaps logic or other people around you disagree.
So Queen, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you.
Okay.
That is the story of my life.
Okay.
Literally. Everything that I've ever wanted, I saw it in my mind first. And there was always factors, whether it was people or just life, that tried to stop you from allowing you to be yourself, right? So a quick story, before I started Motivational Moore, I freelanced for 2 years before going to Fox 45 Baltimore. And everyone told me that I had to start out in a small market. I had to move in the middle of nowhere to be a TV host, all of this stuff. But there was something within me, my intuition, my inner voice, that told me I didn't have to do that, regardless of how many people told me I had to, right? So that is a perfect example of just trusting that inner voice and allowing myself to be myself. See, that's the thing. The thoughts are already there. Everything is already within us, but we have to be willing to trust ourselves to thrive to our fullest potential. And I feel like, I mean, imagine there's been stories with you guys that people said A, B, and C, but there was something within you that said no. I'm gonna believe it because your inner voice already told you. So you just have to walk and do the work. The inner voice is never wrong. I've never met anyone whose intuition was wrong.
I love this. Chardelle, we always leave these interviews with you. I can speak about motivated, ready, inspired. If people want to keep up with you, how can they do that?
Okay, you can follow me on all platforms at Chardelle Moore, as well as check out my website, ChardelleMoore.com, and listen to my debut album, Inward Awakening, available on all streaming platforms.
Yes. Love it. Thank
And
you so
Charis
much.
the hair.
Oh, I love it. Right?
Straight goddess vibes, looking like a West Indian island gal. Hey.
Don't hype me up. Don't hype me up. Thank you again.